Indianapolis regionals are coming up, and it's been crazy. We opened registration and we capped out in Masters. I'm stressed, but it's a good stress.
It is nice to, finally be back on top after the start of the season.
Dragon is in his last senior year, and I'm definitely looking forward to playing him again. I haven't played him in a long time, and it's gonna be interesting to see how it goes.
It is funny. When I tell people, they're like, what do you do? And I'm like, well, I'm a Pokemon judge. And they're like, you're a Pokemon what? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a Pokemon judge. It's so good to actually be back in that scene.
Having close friends in Pokemon is the game. That's why I love it so much.
The goal for me is to finish #1 in North America. Currently, I'm 5th right now, and Isaiah is just right under me in 7th.
Every single NAIC have been right before Worlds. It's always been that last crunch time for some of the players. So the pressure is on. So this is a little bit of the fan art that I have received. They know I love me some Eevees, and so they draw me Eevees. I got this for my birthday. My partner Pokemon would probably be Eevee. Hey Pokemon people, Mikey here, and welcome to my channel. It's been a while. I love that Eevee is basically a chameleon. It can be whatever it wants, and I relate to that. I like to be able to always do different things, be wherever I want to be. That's the type of person I am. I'm always trying to be helpful, but I'm super excited. I'm about to go to NAICs, and I have an assortment of booster packs for you guys. So let's see what we get, all right? I have a pretty big family. I am the youngest of 11, and we have over 37 grandkids. Okay. I did. The biggest impact, I would say, on my life has been my mother. She has been the true strength of who I am. There we go. This actually is a picture of us.
There you are.
I don't look awkward enough. I'm adorable. Look at that.
You are adorable there.
She is kind. She is helpful. That woman would do anything for anyone. Didn't matter who it was. Like, she was the PTA mom, the booster mom. Like, that woman is an amazing woman. My mom had a stroke in 2004, and I was one of her main caregivers, and I took care of her through going through college, and I had ended up tearing my ACL and needed reconstruction surgery on my knee. With me not being able to take care of my mom, my sister stepped in, and then I moved to my other sister's house. And in the back room, there was Pokemon cards from my brother-in-law. I asked my brother-in-law, I was like, what are you doing with the Pokemon cards? And he's like, I play with my one friend every once in a while. And I was like, we should start playing again. We started building decks, and we decided to go to our first tournament. We did awful, but we had learned a whole lot. We started going to a Pokemon league. I wanted to become a league leader, so I started becoming a league leader, and then everything just progressed from there. So if all the rest of these packs are not good packs, I'm not going to be upset at all about it. Let's see. Well, if you guys are going to North America ICs, you guys should definitely stop and see me over in the side event area and play some sides.
I'm driving. You're driving?
I am.
Columbus, here we come.
The North American International Championships historically has always been the largest tournament of the year anywhere in the world. I'm expecting to get close to 2,000 players here. It's certainly the international championship with the highest prestige
because it's many people's last shot at Worlds, like this is literally the last tournament before the World Championships, people will just get really weird with it. You know, they'll bring the text they've been saving, they'll bring like the strategies they've been working on for months to just try and throw it all out there.
Well, Indy was a great event for all of these guys. All of them converted into day 2 or better. You've got to take that momentum, continue to put on the jets to show everybody you can stay at the top. As soon as you let back, as soon as you ease up, somebody is waiting right behind you to take over your spot and show that they've got what you don't.
Our group boot camped for about a week and a half prior to this tournament. We were at our friend Xander's house in Chicago, and we played a scary amount of games.
I'm feeling really good. I'm 4-0. Just have to win 2 more, and we should be locked for top 8. The rest of the crew's actually doing pretty hot. Bradner, Isaiah is 4-0. John's 4-0.
Yeah, no, I was pretty relaxed going into this one. And people have told me I do better when I'm relaxed, which is 100% true, but I'm just gonna try to lock up this day 2 spot. I need to win one of my next 3. This is the best any deck has felt, in my hands at least, the entirety of the season. So yeah, no, I'm feeling good.
Kaya bounced back really well after EUIC, after a pretty subpar performance. Took that energy, took that motivation of saying, I don't want to be in that spot ever again, and went on a tear at special events and regionals, pretty much being close to the bubble, if not top cutting, almost every single event. And that is a feat for any player in any division to be that consistent with performance, shows how strong of a player you are. There's no stopping Kaya right now.
I think the hardest part of the season has been the beginning. Now, after the pressure kind of has gotten a little less, I really started to enjoy the last tournaments I played.
Okay, so do you know what you're hitting next round? I saw Kaya was 401.
Yeah.
Greg and I first played against each other in 2016, the first IC in London, and we talked a little bit after our match and then before top 8.
So going into our 8th round, we knew that it was a 50-50 chance I get paired against her, and she didn't think it was the best matchup for her.
So IDing, intentionally drawing, is when 2 players agree to take a tie for the match. We see this in most cases when players are in their last or second to last round of an event and want to secure themselves a spot in top cut. It's not a bad thing at all. It shows that players care about having each other side by side when the competition is about to get tough in top cut. It's there to show that they're willing to take that next step with them into cut and battle it out as rivals and as friends.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Oh, okay. Fantastic.
We're playing your top 8 rounds.
Way to go. So you're in for sure.
Yeah.
What's her record?
She's on the bubble. She's guaranteed top 16 now.
I think the ID was safer than playing and losing. I still would have been top 16 safe both times, but I just wanted to ID the round, and I started to notice that I was getting tired maybe a little bit, so I just wanted the ID and then see if I bubble into top 8.
See you, Mikey.
It's good to see you too.
Mikey is actually one of the judges who I know very well. He always wishes me good luck at events, asks how I'm doing.
How'd you do?
In top 8.
Okay,
6-1-1. Thank you.
Yes, he's able to ID,
So I know he's definitely enjoyed watching me grow as a player and just doing well.
Yeah, Mikey's always been there. He's just, he's always been this, like big, lovable guy that everyone just likes.
Mikey is a really well-known judge. He's been on the game for years, so I think players go to him to ask questions, to know rulings. He's very famous in the game.
Mikey just has that presence about him. You feel comfortable, whether you just met him yesterday or you've been friends with him for 20 years.
Yeah, I took those out.
Yeah. Because Jimmy and Mike are the 2 worst spots to sit.
Actively taking.
Oh yeah.
That's a bad.
Jimmy's
out for round 1.
I'm so
That's your right-hand spoon, Sarah. You're gonna grab that first.
I swear.
Alright, don't look at me.
I'll just...
There's a running joke between friends that his charisma stat is maxed out. Even when he's not in a good mood or not, having a great day, you'd never know to look at him. He is always, the kindest, most caring individual.
At the beginning of COVID, I started off like, okay, well, if we're going into lockdown, let me start planning out videos and let's get my YouTube channel together. Let's help build these formats. And it didn't happen that way at all.
You can tell that he's struggling, but he's doing his best to, you know, put on a brave face, and it was hard to watch.
Like, almost from the beginning, like, it started off, my basement flooded. And that put me into a really, like, sad place because I lost a lot of Pokemon stuff that meant a lot to me. Fans used to give me Eevee, and I had them start signing the Eevee. And so I have a lot of Eevees that's been damaged, which is so sad. And then just barely getting through that, I lost my sister unexpectedly. Then I lost a cousin, then I lost an aunt, and then the luck of my family was just terrible through the past couple years. In total, we ended up losing 14 family members within 2 years. It was a lot. And it put me in a really, like, dark place of, like, me not wanting to do anything. And it seemed like it was so much.
Going through all these issues for Mikey without having Pokemon as its backbone, it was just trying to be there, being the understanding ear for him that he usually is for everybody else.
He takes on so much and from so many people in different places. It doesn't necessarily allow himself the time in the room to handle his own struggles. We're here to help. We're a family, and you need help, and that's okay.
So I'll play second.
Ich hab Angst gehabt, ja. I'm eighth? I'm eighth?
I think so. Actually, hold on.
Wait, am I?
I think so.
You're
Great.
in? Oh my God. It's always very nice to make top 8 at a tournament where you know that there are a lot of good players.
Okay, yeah, good idea.
8.
8? Yeah. There you go, congratulations.
And they're not playing against each other.
Yeah, you gotta wait, right?
I still have pictures from London 2016.
Oh, yeah, that's neat.
That's so neat. They were like this.
I know, well, she's still taller.
I started 401 on day 1, and on the next day I just had to win one match. So that was a great feeling. I was really happy then.
So, is this the game 3 maybe?
It's game 2 or the really long game 2 or game 3. We don't know.
Well, I lost top 8 then because it was also my fault in the second game, and then in the third game I just bricked. But I'm very happy that I placed as well in the tournament with 130 players. So it was probably the best tournament I was at.
So I was super confident going to my top 4 match, and I ended up playing against a top senior from Brazil, who I've known since juniors. Drizzle. I was drawing as hot as just about any deck could draw, especially for not being as consistent as any Arceus deck I've played. Hitting everything turn 2 was going pretty much perfect. Is it okay if I play these at the same time? So level ball and quick ball away energy. I was able to take it down in game 3. Super close, came down to a Roxanne, and I ended up drawing boss for game.
During day 1, I went 801 during Swiss, and I finished as the first seed. During the day, you could talk to anyone in the group. I was telling them, I was like, this is the one. Like, my hands feel so good. Like, everything feels like it's flowing perfectly. And in round 13 and 14, these were key rounds for me because if I were able to win any of those, but I hit pretty even matchups.
It's okay. You're in the same position you were in going into this one.
Yeah. I don't have a top 8 post-COVID, which is something that I was really trying to get at NAIC. I got 10th there, which I'm still very proud of that finish. 10th out of almost 1,200 people. Doing well at a tournament is a combination of luck and skill. I know I've got the skill. I know I can beat pretty much anybody. I've done it before. I've been there before. It's just a matter of, trusting the process and waiting for your time to come.
Top 8 was probably one of the most nerve-wracking matchups of my career because in top 4, you get like a Pikachu trophy, a nice little Pikachu trophy. And so it was huge for me that I was playing for that trophy, my first one in Masters.
So Brian Kim is Arceus and Teleon, right?
Right, so what does he have? So he has does he have Rod?
Yeah, he should.
He has Rod?
He has Rod. That's all. He's swept me.
Everything we do in this game, we try to do it together. So when Isaiah's up there, it feels like we're up there, just the same.
Let's go!
We're constantly analyzing what his options are. We're in the crowd thinking as if we are also in the game with Isaiah.
Doesn't feel great. I think it's got to be a retreat and just hope that Isaiah doesn't have a way to win the game.
He makes a really good play or he gets a good draw in the round. We are very energetic.
Let's go! Isaiah just needs a boss's orders to win and move on to the finals. Does he have it? Level ball grabs Drizzile, and if there's boss in the deck, which there is, Isaiah Bradner brings up an Arceus and takes the KO, moving on to the finals.
Saturday night and even this morning before the tournament, getting emotional just standing there thinking that I had actually done it. I had gone here, I had played so much Pokemon, I had prepared for the past month, and then I was in finals the next day.
One next day!
The night before, me and Sam Shen actually, the test hands I was just drawing is probably the best hands that I could possibly be drawing. We were all going crazy.
Oh, it's a good hand! Oh my god, that's turn 2 mustard for sure. Because I shout. That might be one of the best hands I've seen playing this deck. I played 9 rounds of that deck. Have you seen this man? He will start. He has 4 cards! This is unreal!
Just being away from the community itself, we see each other so much that we go beyond just being friends and acquaintances. We're actually a family. It's surreal. I'm still trying to get used to it. I had loved ones. I had people, Pokemon family, contacting me, checking on me, other people getting my address and sending me things, sending me product to try and replace the product that I lost. They're sending me letters and cards to try and make me feel better. I'm truly grateful for the love and support that those people sent me during that time. It helped a whole lot. Just having friends.
So, have you guys played Raid before?
No. We're really interested to see how it works, though.
It's going to be me against all 4 of you guys. Okay? That's a pretty good. You guys are going to take your turns together.
Whenever I judge inside events and we're running around doing all kinds of things, it brought back a whole bunch of joy to me.
Here we go. Tails. Heal all damage from all your Pokemon. Okay, that's how I win. I just figured out. All right. I resolve everything. I don't have any damage, and it is your turn. Oh, sweet.
Game 1 was super close. It came down to the wire, and he ended up having a good play to win him the game.
Yeah.
In Game 2, he He drew just about as well as the deck could on turn 1, and my turn 1 wasn't the best.
If Reagan can get 2 back-to-back attacks, Rune might fall way too far behind. 2 more prizes going to Reagan is going to put him ahead in this game, but also sets up the threat of Roxanne.
I was able to make it last a few turns, but he ended up overpowering me with his cross switchers and knocking out my flying Pikachu.
Here we go, energy, belt, goon, ping 10 more damage, double cross switcher, and Rune wins the North American International.
The fact that everyone showed up and just cheered me on really gave me extra confidence going into it. I'm still very happy with the placement, and everyone in the testing group's just so supportive, And then we were all looking forward to watching Isaiah's final match right after mine.
I was locked in, I was focused, I was very nervous, not about playing in the match itself, but just in the results of the match, just thinking about if I would be able to win it. I knew that I had the ability to, but it was just with the cards fall in my favor.
Without further ado, let's bring them up to the stage. We have Azul Garcia Griego and Isaiah Bradner.
And then I was also just so excited and proud that I was one of the 2 players that had made it to this moment. Game 1, I opened a good hand, and he doesn't, and I pretty much roll him. The game was over almost from turn 2. I just got such a strong start that he couldn't keep up. Game 2 was kind of the opposite. He had a really good opening, and I had a poor one.
This is a little bit of a tough puzzle. We can see Isaiah's having a tough time with what to do this turn. There's so much search of the deck available to him. You can make so many plays. You have so much access to the cards in your list. It can really be hard to iron out exactly what the play is.
I could never get my board set up. I couldn't respond to what he was doing, and so I lost that game pretty early. And then going into game 3, I was going first, so I was confident. In testing, I actually never lost a game going first. I was just sitting there, I was praying like, please, 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 just let me open a playable hand. I remember the thought that went through my head. I was like, oh my gosh, this is how my internationals run is going to end, because my hand was just that bad. And then I couldn't do anything with pass because my hand was so bad. And so my heart kind of plummeted there.
And I don't know that there's anything Isaiah can send up. He says he can't win. Azul Garcia.
I'm going to worry about it when I say that.
Sorry. We figured you would want to know.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
When Isaiah lost that finals match, that wasn't just Isaiah's loss, it was everyone in the group. And I think that's a testament to how close we are and how much we care about each other.
It honestly feels amazing that my last IC I was able to get second in. I wanted first really bad, just to say, I won the last NAIC that I couldn't seniors, but I'm content with second.
It's been an incredible weekend. Pokemon means a lot to me because not only is it a fun game, it has given me tons of opportunities that I wouldn't have had before. It has created a huge support system for me, and they make adorable stuff, and I like adorable things. The World Championships is finally here.
We are so excited to be here. It is the first World Championships in Europe.
When you go to Worlds for the first time, when you get that experience, you're never gonna forget it.
After this NAIC, I'm definitely really confident going into Worlds. I feel like I know the format really well.
I'm definitely getting nerves that I haven't felt in a while.
This moment is 3 years in the making. I feel like I'm at the top of my game. Me and the guys have been discussing decks and building them better than ever, and so hopefully I can take this one down.
I'm very excited, of course, trying to keep the title in Germany. And yeah, I'm excited for the tournament. I'm, of course, also nervous.
If you're a world champion, even if you top 4, top 8 worlds, become sort of immortal in the game. It's every player's dream to ultimately hoist that Pikachu trophy at the end of the tournament, and it's mine as well.
Love you, buddy. Love you, Ember. We're gonna miss you, bro. Oh, you got this, man.
These next few months are gonna be a lot for me. Obviously, the big one is moving to college. I'll be living on my own for the first time, and I'm really excited just to meet a bunch of people and honestly just take classes that I'm interested in.
Yeah, there for 5 days, and Sunday night we fly to London. Okay.
There's a lot of nerves coming in. This moment is 3 years in the making. I've been waiting 3 years to get another shot at the World Championships. I play this game for hours every day. I spend a good chunk of my life dedicated to being the best that I can at this game. And knowing that the reason that I wasn't able to accomplish this goal on the biggest stage was because I wasn't good enough and I couldn't make that final play kind of haunts me. And it's not so much a self-deprecating thing where I'm like, I'm a horrible player, I'm not good, because I know that's not true. It's more realistic where I know I'm a very good player, but I also know that if I was just a little bit better, then I could have won my top 8 match against Pedro. I maybe could have won my finals match against Azul. So those things stick with me right after they happen.
Love you, Isaiah.
It is an honor to welcome everyone to the 2022 Pokémon World Championships.
The World Championships is finally here. There has never been worlds like this.
It is the first World Championships in Europe, and the fact that we've had to wait a little while for this particular World Championships means that all of the hype and all of the excitement is here right now on that center stage.
Stage is huge. It's even bigger than last Worlds.
It's so exhilarating to walk into this hall and see all these players are here for the same reason. All these fans are here because they love Pokemon. They love competition. They love seeing the best battle it out.
All the top competitors, they have to put in hundreds of hours just to even have a chance to end up making it to the top.
Creo que este tipo de eventos es uno de esos en los que se enciende la pasión de estos niños, en los que podés ver cómo su amor por el juego empieza a crecer y crecer.
I've always looked at Worlds as like the big celebration at the end of the year for the community.
Worlds is sort of the pinnacle achievement for many Pokemon players. It's the only invitation-required tournament of the season.
It all comes down to this moment.
If you're a world champion, even if you top 4, top 8 worlds, become sort of immortal in the game. And I think it's every player's dream to ultimately hoist that Pikachu trophy at the end of the tournament, and it's mine as well.
For Scrapper?
Bro, that match is free. You don't need anything.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. If it's Ian's, they're going to play Digimon. Dude, I know I lost him twice because he's like a goblin. 2 events in a row.
Isaiah's taken on a lot of responsibility, taking this leadership role in the group. And it shows that he's able to do that because he's earned the trust of all of these group members. Making a deck selection, making these big decisions going to events, it's not as easy as it seems. There's a lot on the line. And to really put trust into Isaiah shows that these group members feel confident in his choices, in his selection, and his skills to get them to where they need to be.
He is one of the best players that this game will ever see, and the fact that he's so young and has so much time in the game is terrifying. That's why he's kind of like the leader of our group and kind of makes all the gears kind of turn.
Hello and welcome to the 2022 Pokemon World Championships. We've got day 1 invites, we've got day 2 invites. It's a big story at Worlds because these are 2 separate competitions. Day 1, you need to have a record of X and 2 losses or fewer.
Day 1 competition for Worlds is brutal. You've got to play quick, you've got to be consistent, and if you lose 2 games or you tie multiple games, you're out.
The challenge of day 1, honestly, is just getting through the tournament.
What does this do?
The Pokemon metagame is just a collection of decks people are playing. Pokemon is often like rock, paper, scissors. One deck beats another, which beats another, which beats one deck. And so figuring out which decks beat what decks, and if you can make a choice that beats all of the decks, that's sort of the idea behind solving the metagame.
Sam and I are already confident that we can make it through day one with a good deck.
1、4、5、1、2、3、4、6、7、8、9、9进18、20 OK 好 OK， 跟直接赛 OK 好，没问题吗？240对。
I would say there's a bit of scouting between both the players playing in day one and also those not playing. So those not playing honestly have a better chance to scout because they can walk around, get a sense for the general metagame.
The big thing is looking out for anything that we don't expect and then making sure that my friends do well, because if they don't do well, then maybe there's a problem with the deck that they're playing and might have to reevaluate for the second day.
All right, so while we're here, if this is...
I was just thinking this. Yeah. What does this mean?
Yeah.
These are certainly some of the strongest players in the field already. I mean, Xander Perez got a top 4 at the World Championships in 2017. They're going down to 1 prize, and I'm not sure if there's many defensive plays Xander can make at this point.
Okay, it's okay.
Looks like Xander was drawing
2 power
cards,
tablet there, and then we get the KO with the Mew on the Palkia, and Zachary Fortier wins round 1.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Because I think you got it. Because the best I can do is quick shooting the active, and I'm 20 short. Good game, man. Good game.
Competing at Worlds always feels different than any other event for me. In the season you play for the points and of course also the title, but at Worlds is just a bit bigger, a bit different. So I think playing is the most fun for me, but also just testing with friends on Thursday and Wednesday was great.
So most testing groups, they only talk about Pokemon, they don't hang out too much, but with us, we hang out with each other pretty much the whole event. My go-to person for advice out of the group is probably Isaiah, just because how accomplished he is and how much he thinks things out.
I've loved getting to know Reagan better this year. We've been friends for forever. He was pretty much my first close friend in Pokemon, so it's been awesome getting to, I guess, reconnect with him even more this year, and I've really seen him grow as a player, become closer with the testing group, and he's been one of the main ones that I've kind of relied on through testing these past few days.
Oh my God! There it is. Dude, what is wrong with you? Let's go. And then me and Reagan, I was like trying to play a game against him, and then Reagan was sitting there. I was like looking at the list, and Reagan was sitting there, and then we were trying to figure out the proxies, and it was so bad.
Whenever their testing group began to come together with the older dog, Sam Chin, and then you have John, Isaiah, Reagan, and Bakari, it's not only a Pokemon preparation, but just family. I've honestly been shocked that they made it through a full season and they're still now testing together, because there's just differences in opinion. But I think what's kept them together is their commitment to one another.
So would you be worried about others playing Slowbro? How are we beating that?
I trust Isaiah and Justin sometimes more than myself, honestly, when they've made a decision on a deck that I can like put my tournament in their hands. I trust like my testing, but I also trust theirs just as much.
I want to play Palkia because the deck is like, I love the deck, and like and I mean, I think that the deck beats the Zard deck, but I also know that Palkia didn't do very well today, and I don't want to play the deck and then like, I don't know, it just doesn't have your matchups. But then Reggie like sucks. Like I feel like if I played Reggie and I do bad, like I'm just asking for it.
That'd be good. I mean, there's so many ways to play it.
But like in theory, I mean, it has good matchups. Even you do your one thing, you can do it really well. It's just.
Reagan, what exact matchups is the slacking?
I guess this is the hard part of Pokemon, right? If there's an easy deck, then whatever else. What would you play?
This format's just really hard to solve.
Yeah, he played again. Yeah, so you did fine.
I want to be sure and confident in every last card. And the testing the day before and the night before is some of those valuable things, because you take all the months or weeks, whatever it's been, of information, and then you cram that all together, you take the lessons that you've learned, and then you find the best deck, you make the best deck you can make.
I think a lot of being a day 2 player is holding your nerve in day 1, making sure that you stay confident and strong in your own team so that when you come to play the Pokemon game, you're going to have that confidence and not be thrown by any kind of shenanigans you saw in day 1.
Isaiah, Justin, and John played Palkia, the deck that they played at NAIC and Milwaukee.
Going into Worlds, Palkia had a huge target on his back.
I mean, the biggest vulnerability for Palkia is that because it's the labeled best deck in format, everybody has some sort of strategy against it.
In round 1, John was playing against Diego Caciaraga, world champion in 2017. For John, it was a really tough matchup because Diego's deck had some aggressive counters that were designed to stop John's deck right in its tracks.
I ended up playing an Arceus variant, which I've been playing all season, and I was pretty confident going into it that I would take a good matchup against Palkia, which is by far the most popular deck in Worlds. Probably 50% of the meta at Seniors was Palkia, which is crazy for just one deck.
Kaya puts in a lot of time, a lot of practice, a lot of testing, and that's with her and her brothers. They've done their homework, they're ready to play, and they feel confident that they can either take home a tournament or place really well.
Having Dario here is always nice. He doesn't have a lot of time because of his studies and stuff, so it's always nice to get him back to a tournament.
Isaiah is 4-0-2, 2 wins, and he's in top 8. He gets matched up against Stonejourner. Now I'm operating off of it's a bad matchup, we can still beat it. I sit down with Reagan and John, and they say it's unbeatable.
The most common way we win is we'll Marnie him early, and he'll sit on nothing. We'll swing into the Stonejourner. It's pretty much impossible for us to one-shot it. I don't know. There's no way for him to beat it.
I mean, they play this to beat Isaiah, so I'm feeling like, this is the end of our world's opportunity. I see Isaiah pretty late in game 1 begin to, he's counting, and I'm like, the only way he's counting is if Isaiah feels like, I think I could win this right here, and he does a play where I'm pretty sure he did a quick shooting and then he did a quad goon and got Stonejourner, and he wins a long game 1, and it was like, we're back alive, baby. Let's go, baby. One more. One more, dude.
Yeah.
There you go. Dude, how'd you do that? Easy. Oh, that move. Yeah, easy. I knew you were gonna say easy.
I was 4-1-1, so I need to win my next 2 to make top 8, and we've seen that there are 8 Palkias, 1 Urshifu, and about 2 Arceus. And I'm fine with all those matchups except the Urshifu, which is pretty much an auto loss. And my opponent was shuffling his deck, and as he was shuffling, an Urshifu slid out.
So Reagan does a good job of masking that super emotional energy. I know that it being his last World Championships really meant a lot to him, and he really wanted to get that big finish. So that moment of seeing him play against the Urshifu deck that virtually no one was playing in the tournament, the one bad matchup that he hit was just devastating.
So I was pretty defeated at that. I tried my best. I tried to take different routes against him since it wasn't exactly a deck we tested against. It's kind of a rogue deck, and he destroyed me. He 2-0'd me.
When you have a plan, when the game is going good, and you can just play, and you feel like you can win this game, that feels so exciting for me. Well, of course, I wanted to make top 8 and maybe even defend my title, but in the end, I was happy with any placement as long as I had fun playing.
The London Open is essentially another tournament that goes on at Worlds for people who want to just attend Worlds to spectate and have fun, or for people who don't make it through to top cut.
This is actually the first time I played the Open after Worlds, because usually the Open clashed with day 2. So it's very nice to play the next day, even though it's a lot, playing 8 rounds at Worlds and now in the Open. We played 6 rounds yesterday and 2 today, and I went 7-0-1 in total. In the end, it came down to a tiebreaker between me and second place, but I came out as first place. So I just won the London Open I played in.
In the final round, I hit probably the worst matchup I could hit for my win in, which was unfortunate.
I would give the matchup about a 90-10. It is just a horrible matchup for him.
We hit a deck that obviously was built to beat Palkia, and that's okay though. You know, Isaiah feels fine playing against Pikachu. It's Pikachu Jolteon, which is even worse, and Isaiah says, you know, it's winnable.
Isaiah needed a miracle to win that matchup.
How's your tails? Fair. I'll go first.
I am no longer in the tournament. The only person in the group that's alive is Isaiah. He's 402.
Isaiah has high goals for himself as a player. He really wants to prove to everybody that he is one of the best players. He knows he has the skills to do it, and he's confident in himself, and that's what really allows him to drive himself. His whole goal of showing up here at Worlds is to say, hey, I've shown that I can place at regionals, I've shown I can place at internationals, let me show you that I can perform at the world stage as well, and if I do all that, you've got to consider me to be one of the top players the game has seen.
We start watching the match, and game one, Isaiah quickly gets a big knockout, gets a second knockout, and Isaiah takes game one pretty quickly. So we are one game away from top 8 at Worlds. I mean, the dream is here. I think some of the most beautiful moments for me with a kid, you know, whether it's a final of a regional or of an international, seeing this row of teammates who could leave because they're out of the tournament, but they're not leaving. They're there, ready to hug Isaiah or hug John or whoever it might be, because their teammate's success is as good as theirs. And man, that's where I've seen this year, you have something special. Game 2, we're in a good position. There was a moment in game 2 where I thought, we're in, we got this. And so then we lose game 2, and game 3, the only way we're gonna beat this deck is if we get a really good start. I can't take it anymore. I don't wanna watch the look on the face that would be the end of it.
When my dad was pacing, I kind of like looked back, and I remember specifically seeing John and then seeing some of Isaiah's friends, and then I just kind of stepped back, and it was this whole like crescent moon of people. It was very tense, like you could feel the eyes. I mean, my heart was beating fast. I was just like, come on, come on.
All of a sudden, Isaiah set up, his opponent set up, we got a game. And there was a chance, a couple turns, opponent couldn't get energy. I thought, we're still gonna figure this out. Of course, Isaiah, you're gonna figure this out.
I mean, it was obviously winnable because I just dominated him the first game. And so I was just thinking as I was shuffling up for game 2, come on, just give me like one of these next 2 games. Let me draw really well, or let him dead draw, and then let me be able to get this final slot.
Congrats.
When that round 8 ended and he's sitting there alone, it's almost an image of the passage of time. Like a world has passed. That was an opportunity. It's not everything in life, but it was one that he had, and it's gone. When I see Isaiah walk away and sit down after losing, I'm proud because I know he's fully in the moment. He's taking it in.
You know, I really got to see my older brother in his element. I got to see him win, I got to see him lose, you know, I got to see him be very happy and very sad, you know. And most importantly, like I got to see the impact that he's made on everybody else.
One of the great moments after we hugged Isaiah, the Japanese opponent who just beat him came over and wanted to embrace Isaiah and tell him, I've watched you.
Oh, you watched me? Yes, I know. Congrats, no way. Congratulations. You got this.
To me, that was a little glimpse of what Isaiah and I always start off with, which is a good name is to be chosen above great riches. And it was a little glimpse of you've chosen and you've got a great name, son. And I think that'll be something we talk about just as much as we talk about the loss in the months to come.
I pick up my Arceus with Powerful Belt and I win the game with Slacking because he had Big Charm. But I didn't. So I game three. Game one I rolled him. I'm already packed in turn 2.
Up top. All right, let's move. Yeah. He went already left again. Yeah. What's up?
Also, everyone's trying to work with us, Isaiah. The Australians talk to me, Japan talk to him. I feel like everyone in the group showed that we are probably the most dominant group in the game right now. It really means a lot to me, like a lot, that I finished up there with Isaiah and Justin, the 2 people I work the most with, and that I was able to finish the season ranked 3rd in North America.
I was able to finish #1 NA, which has always been my goal, and I was able to win 3 regionals this year. Feeling really good about aging up to Masters, actually. I forgot to register for the Open, or I would be playing my first Masters tournament. Isaiah and Justin and John also decided to sit out. I think they were pretty wore out from yesterday.
There's definitely a lot of emotions just in the fact that the World Championships has ended, and it's an event that I've put so much time into, and it'll probably hit me on the flight back that, you know, it's over and that I was so close. But at the end of the day, there's another season right around the corner that I'll be playing in, and so gotta turn our focus there.
As a person who was early eliminated from Worlds, was able to play in the London Open. I played a different deck that I think was more aggressive and took less time, so I would tie fewer rounds, and thankfully I was able to go 8-2 to squeak into the top 8. I'm going into next season currently at #1 in our group, and look out everyone, I'm not giving up the lead. When I first started playing Pokemon competitively, the oldest players who played were maybe teenagers and maybe in their early 20s. You know, I started the game when I was 9 years old, and now I'm 33. So I've always been in that group of sort of the oldest players, and now a lot of us are getting married, having kids. And in 2017, the very first Pokédad became a world champion. Diego Casiraga, his wife had just given birth. They had a beautiful child, and he was a real first Pokédad world champion. And we're going to see more and more of those, and I can't wait to potentially be one myself. I'll wait till I have a child to win Worlds. That seems fair.
Trading card game, London Open, juniors and seniors. You may begin.
When you just start the game, it's necessary to accept the fact that you'll just, lose. You will not always do well, even if you think that you've prepared the best or play the best deck. And it might just happen that you won't draw as well, or that you might make a misplay. And it just happens. It's not a bad thing. It doesn't determine that you're a bad player just because you did not so well at the tournament.
There's always going to be next match and next tournament, just to breathe sometimes during games.
Going back to that kid I was whenever I first found Pokemon cards, I think that if I could see who I've become today, then I would be so happy with it. I would be so excited.
I've been playing this game competitively for about 12 years now, and the community and my friends here have basically raised me, because I'm 20 right now. So I started playing when I was 8 years old, when I was very young. Friendship in the community means a lot more to me because the close friends I've made, I look at like my family. I look at them all like my brothers. They're family to me, and I love them.
Once I get back, I want to be part of that process of getting people back involved. I want to be able to see the people I haven't seen in forever. I want to help bring that back to life. I want to be part of that healing process. I want to make sure that they are enjoying this game that I have grown to love. And I'm excited to be a part of that.